I did not anticipate getting another electronic drum set this year, but the folks at Fesley, when I made a video about their last electronic drum set, I mentioned a couple things that I thought could be improved on. And a few weeks ago, they reached out and let me know that they're releasing this drum set soon, and it's addressed some of those issues. So I figured I'd give it a shot and see if they really did solve the problems I had. So, a box full of more boxes. The first thing is this bi-plate drum stool. And actually, before we get into this, one of the complaints I had about the last drum set was that the drum stool was really flimsy, especially for someone like me who's a bigger guy. And Fesley actually sent out this guy here, a nice tractor style, fully padded, double brace throne. So thank you, Fesley. PAR 100, and I can already see there's 3 of these. So my guess would be these are tom pads. This is like a full drum shell here, with 2 mesh heads and then some sort of sensor inside. Actual rims, lugs, tension rods, this is the real deal. So I'm excited about this. All right, next up we've got a cymbal pad, which I hope is not shaped like a hexagon, but we'll see. It's a circle, thank God. Tom brackets and cymbal arms. Just normal snare stand, not anything that would mount to the rack. Yeah, that's cool. We've got the brain or module, and I don't know, hard to say if this is going to be good or bad yet, but there's a variety of knobs on here as well as some other features. So I'm sure I'll have more thoughts on this once I actually get to using it. This box says TT, which I would think is tom-tom, but my guess is this is actually the snare. Yeah, there's no tom mount on it, so this must be the snare. Okay, so here's the bass drum. It's probably a 16 or an 18-inch shell, and it's actually a drum shell, not one of those kick towers. And it attaches to the rack with those pipes I just opened on either side. When they sent me a picture of this new kit, this was the part that excited me to try. So yeah, very much looking forward to this. This is a nice bass drum pedal. This thing's got a super big footboard with not Velcro, but like rubber that won't slide. And this thing is well built. I feel like most acoustic kits that come with hardware don't even come with a pedal this nice. So kudos to Fesley. Pair of headphones. Again, not really required to include. I have my own headphones that are nicer, but I like when everything you need to get going comes in the box. Again, this is like a legit hi-hat stand. It doesn't have a solid footboard, but I don't really even like those sorts of hi-hat stands. And then finally, the drum rack. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing set up, and then we'll get into playing. Overall, I'm really impressed with all the physical components with this kit. When it comes to these shells, they feel great to play, and even though they don't have those like rubber sleeves to protect the rims and make it more quiet, it actually feels fine and sounds fine acoustically. The cymbals work great, although it said they were 3-zone, and to me it felt like more 2 distinguishable zones and sounds. So I'm not sure about that, but again, not a huge complaint. The bass drum. This is the thing I thought was going to be really cool when I first saw it, and I do think it adds a little bit of stage presence if you were to use this in a live setting where it looks more like a drum set because it has an actual bass drum there as opposed to a kick tower. The only problem is that because this is mounted off the rack that holds everything else, if you're really laying into the bass drum, it's gonna shake everything. So it's not that bad. It's not moving very much right now, but just one potential issue maybe you have to consider with your setup and adjusting your technique to make everything work smoothly. With that said though, one thing I really like about this kit is that the drum rack, it has 2 horizontal bars going across 2 of the 3 sections, the 2 sections that actually hold drums. That's something that I've been annoyed with on some other electronic kits I've tried and seen, so I like that they've added that here. Going into the sounds, I explored enough of the brain to give you my thoughts, but the owner's manual that they provided is really brief, and maybe that's just because I'm one of the first people to test this out and it's brand new. But honestly, we have 1 page here with just the different components and like a really basic setup guide. And then there's 1 more page just showing how to plug everything in and explaining a little bit about the company and warranty information. There's not an in-depth overview of the features and using different things in here. And one thing I saw on the Amazon listing for this was that it's Bluetooth compatible, but I can't find anything on this module to prove that. Again, there's no button for Bluetooth. I don't see any sort of Bluetooth connectivity, so I'm not sure if that's something that's coming or something they thought was going to be in there and didn't end up working out. Again, not a deal breaker, not something I feel like I would need to have, but buyer beware. If you do think there is Bluetooth compatibility, maybe reach out to them and try to get that problem resolved. Okay, a little update from the future here. I did find the Bluetooth connectivity. If you just go into your settings where you'd connect to anything with Bluetooth, it'll pop up here on the bottom. In my case, it reads BT401-audio E473. That's probably different for every device, but I don't know why I didn't think to just check on my phone. Most devices that I have some sort of Bluetooth button to put it in a pairing mode, and then it would pop up, but it must just always be on as long as the actual brain is on. I tried it out. It works great. Sounds good. You can adjust the volume with the MP3 knob on the brain as well as on your device by adjusting the volume just through your phone or any other device. So, nice job, Fesley. Maybe if the owner's manual was a little more thorough, I would have been able to figure that out sooner, but that's okay. Nice work. When it comes to the cabling and plugging everything in, it didn't come with any cable straps to organize everything, which I think would be an easy thing that Fesley could include just to be a little bit more thorough, because they do include a pair of sticks, they do include headphones, they include the drum stool. So they give you everything you need, but that's one thing I would like to see thrown in there as well. On the other Fesley kit I have, I believe it had like a DB25 style connector on the back of the brain, so you only had to plug in 1 massive cable there and then branch out and do each drum individually. Here you have individual patch cables for plugging everything in, which could be a burden, but if one were to break, you would only need to replace that 1 cable, which I think is a bonus. Also on the back, there are 2 additional inputs, one for a 4th tom and one for another crash cymbal. So theoretically, you could expand on this kit. I don't know where you would put another tom because the frame is kind of limited with real estate, but you could easily add another cymbal, I think. So nice to have the ability to expand on this, I think. If I had to address the weakest point of this kit, I still think it's probably the sound bank. I tried a variety of different sets and it was maybe like 40 different pre-programmed sets. And in my opinion, it's even less than that because you have something like Pop Kit 1 but then you have Pop Kit 1 Live, which is virtually the same kit with some reverb or effects added. So to me, it's a little bit limited, but after trying the other set that they sent me at the beginning of this year, I do think it's a step up and an improvement. So I think that's saying that Fesley is trying to move in the right direction. Now this kit sells for $900 new, which is pretty steep. And I do think the physical elements of this kit lives up to that price tag. The brain, I would love to see it improved a bit more, and maybe there could be a firmware update or something to get a better bank of sounds. But again, you also have USB out on here, so you could just run it into a laptop and trigger sounds from a different source, which I think is another great option. So in closing, I just want to thank Fesley for not only sending me this kit, but I thought it was really cool when they reached out to let me know that they had taken my constructive criticism to heart and tried to incorporate it into this set. So I think that says a lot about the company. I'll have affiliate links for this down below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll see you around soon. All right, thanks.